Hello everyone, welcome back to Bitcoin New York. Today is 31st of May. 3-day charts and daily charts have closed. Today is 31st at 8 p.m. Right now, it's 8:30 right now. Today is a Bitcoin Magazine weekly issue, so we would like to be talking about some of those. Going to be talking about Bitcoin, Ethers, Ripples, and Cardanos, and getting into the total market cap at the end. So, like and subscribe for more of these updates, and let's get into this. Yesterday's fear and greed was at 10. Today is at 18. Last week was around 10, so it's getting into a little bit of changes right now. So that was last Sunday. So let's get into Bitcoins first of all. So Bitcoins in US dollars. I've actually put this out on Twitter, and this blue line. Let's get to the weekly chart first. This blue line is... So this is at the time of coronavirus epidemic. So just lining up on those past events that has happened so far. So what I'm thinking is, I think as long as it doesn't go through that line, we'll be in green for a while. I think there are going to be some limits to this theory, but looking at it on the 3-day charts, today's closed on the 3-day charts, so starting on an E line, and on the daily charts, looking good too. I've looked this up on Fibonacci in a long line, and it's still on top of that. There might be a little bit of drop over here, but I think it'll be pretty light without a doubt. I think it's going to go through the blue line here, but if it does, I don't think that would be very good for most of y'all. Let's look at the monthly charts here. So I think it's going to get it on those two lines there. Maybe it might touch that line and go back up again, but I don't think that's much of a possibility as of now, since it's following that blue line there. So this line's without a doubt, it's going to get into a rising pattern again. So I think that's the point of time to be an entry in the making position here. So I don't think selling off gradually is kind of a possibility. I don't think that's a possibility as of now. There's a lot of media saying Bitcoin's over and Bitcoin's selling off, but so I think there are still a lot of fear in the overall market as of now. I think this is kind of a scary part to be in, but this blue line's kind of getting into it pretty good. That's a lot of drop-off percentage right now. So I think there is going to be some more time and adjustments getting into this. So maybe around next week, I think around getting higher than that triangle is the next step to this. If it goes on top of those lines, that would be a pretty good sign to get into the next step. I don't think we're in the green just yet. I don't think it's going to sell off, personally, but there are possibilities. I think it might just come down and touch that line again here in 32490, around that number. Maybe. I think that's a pretty good possibility. In this triangular pattern, there's a lot of fluctuation. So this is another way to look at things. It's getting pretty longer if I line it up like this. Let me just get this right here. Get the dates down. 39 days. So starting from today, that would be This is a daily chart, so around a month, I would say, would be the time to take to get into the next screen. So I guess just keep in mind that it's going to take a time for the next while. Looking at the indicators, this is the RSIs. It's pretty much on the bottom of things here. If this goes up, I think, as long as it doesn't go through that yellow line, there's no chances of making an entry, because that's just how it works as of right now. This is the time of coronavirus here. But there's a lot of velocity. It kind of goes through the line sometimes. But the 3D charts, it's on top of it. But at the weekly charts, there are still space to be made in the bottom parts until the line. So there's more possibility to fluctuate around here. Yeah, this part is the part that's to be made king of resistance right here. So I think they are going to take some more time until the market's stable again. So what I'm thinking right here is, let me check this out for a moment. I think it's going to go coming down and touch around here. 32717. Around those numbers. And the MACDs, I haven't checked into the MACD for a while. MACD is going down again here. So until this goes up, you can't be too certain about things. It's about to make a golden cross here in the daily charts. And for those of you that have saw this, are seeing this for the first time, this number right here is a pretty historical number for Bitcoin, since it hasn't been this low since the birth of Bitcoin. Even if I go back down here, there are no numbers that have gone down around here, this number. So this part, 2018, in this 10th of February, that was the last market. That was the last historical lows. And looking at it right now, that is one of an indicator that it's being selling off too much. I think it might fluctuate around here a little more. So this is one of the historical achievements for Bitcoin, I would say. So I think it's gonna make a even bigger highs than that. But it is taking a little bit more time. But until it gets stable again, I think it's just a matter of time. It's kind of a waiting game at this point. Around here, first one is 42K, sorry. 42K and $28. So that's the next step into getting it. Around here, 35K, $117. So that's next chances to get into. Looking at on the 3D charts. So just keep in mind that it's on top of things right now. The candle is kind of deep, so it's kind of looking like it's trying to sell off a little more. So I think that's a part to take into consideration. A lot of there was a Memorial Day here in the U.S., so I think even the stock markets are kind of dying right now. Just not much movement going on. ETC's growth curve. This is in the weekly charts. So this is what I want to look at here to show you guys. in 2013, it just hit this yellow line. So this is one below the middle line, just hitting that line there, 2013, and right now, just hitting that second line from the middle. So what's different from before? It's kind of fluctuating in the right. In 2013 was fluctuating inside, but right now it's kind of going through. Yeah, 2013 was right in the middle there, but it went through from there. So that's kind of just a little bit lower, but it's pretty much the same thing as what happened in 2013. So, the same pattern that's coming on right now. And, so this is the indicator here. I've got a lot of comments of asking what indicators I was using, and this is the one, hash ribbons, at the bottom there. So look it up. It actually comes up pretty easily. And the long growth curve here, getting back to this. So this is Bitcoin long growth curve. So that's one of the indicators, so just get that up. And Bitstamp got a lot of charts since it started, the Bitcoin started, so that's a good resource to get into and check things out on. So it's looking very beautiful and getting into that curve there. So that's a little bit stood up there, but that was from the coronavirus epidemic around here. Yeah, 2020 to over here, the blue line. Yeah, so that's what it's looking like. So at the time of coronavirus epidemic, it did take some time, so I think it's gonna make the same amount of times here from the bottom to when it recovered. I think about 70 days, 60 days. So about 2 months, basically. So I think it's just going to take 2 more months to get into that parts again. If it goes into like the 40K numbers, I think will be in the green if it reaches those numbers. There's daily MACDs here. Let me just get into this. Just a moment as I figure out what's going on here. Sorry about that. So when this makes a golden cross, I think it's gonna go up again, as I said before. But I think take a little bit more time. Yeah, it was down about like 55%. So yeah, that's all for Bitcoins. Ethers in Tether US dollars. The 3-day charts have closed, so let me zoom in here for you guys. So it's on top of the line there. It's a triple triangle there. Maybe I think it might make another sell-off here, maybe up to that line, or $2,000 and $286. So this is the daily charts. Yeah, there are possibilities of buying out, but our size at the bottom here, so I don't think that's necessarily going to happen personally. So right now the daily charts just started, so if it goes on top of those, that would be pretty good. I think that's a dead cross there. Yep. So it's kind of looking a little weak there. Yeah, that's it. So this is the 3-day charts. Yeah, it's a little bit at the bottom there. I think it might go down again a little bit. And 2141, and come back to that same spot again. I think like $2,362. Let me get this line out. $2,209. I think that's the part that it would hit next. But there's a lot of resistance here, so I don't think there might be much velocity into going to hit those numbers. And the weekly charts finished on a good note. Yep. And it's on top of that, top of the stick last time. So if it goes down, even if it does that, probably half of that candlestick at that yellow line there. So I think $2,209 is a kind of a good point to make an entry on. And tomorrow the monthly chart's gonna close, so I'll get into that tomorrow. But I think this is kind of a weak part of the chart. So if it gets a little bit better tomorrow, that's at least what I'm hoping for. So yeah, that's kind of what it is right now. So I don't think it's gonna sell off because of that resistance line there, but that's my technical analysis on this. Yeah, even in the 6-hour chart, it's in the triangle right there. So that's a part of an indicator to look out for. And Ether's in Bitcoins. It's not bad. So I think it's gonna take a little bit more time into this. 61817 around that number. I think that's the next number to be hitting. Possibly fluctuating through those two resistance lines there. 75946 and 60643. Just going through those numbers. And this is the 3D charts. Looking kind of pretty much the same there. So it might just come down and hit that line there again, just for show. So in Bitcoins, it's actually a less percentage of selling off. So in dollars, it's actually a little bit more sold off than in Bitcoins. So, and the RSI is looking like this in the 3-day charts. It's not hitting anything, but it's kind of going higher. If it goes through those dotted lines, it's just gonna go up again. So that's one point to look at. The weekly charts is looking like this. Right now it's a 65. So I think around here is a good resistance point. If it goes up, I think it might go higher again. It hasn't made any dead crosses yet, so I think just keeping your position is a smart move of this. Around here is good resistance points there, so I think it's going to take a little bit more time around those numbers there. If it goes through them, if the EMI line goes up again, I think the charts will follow that trend per se. So that's it for Ethers. Let's get into XRPs next. XRPs in US dollars. It's kind of making adjustments there. 3-day charts. Let's get into this. So let me just see this here. Let me analyze. As I said on Twitter, I thought this was the lowest that it could go as of now. So it just the market high before and the market low right now. I think there are possibilities of hitting this part again. And around here, it's already trying to get to those numbers there. Over here. So that's one resistance point. So it's just hitting that blue line there, so yeah. It's already hit that number there. Just hit there. So if it goes down, it goes down. So, and you can make orders if you want at those points. I think that's a pretty good way to get into this, or take a position in ripples. And this is the RSI's 38 points. Sorry about that. Let me just get this looking nice. And like that. That's what I want there. A little bit more lined up. So just hitting those lines and just so I think that's a resistance line there. And in the 3 days RSI, it's about to make another resistance jump there. Yeah, that's the line there. So maybe a little tweaks here and there. So those two are resistance pretty good. So I don't think that there are much lower parts to be made right now. So I think it's a little bit easier to read than the other currencies. So if the Bitcoin goes down, it might take some other precautions. But let's get to the Bitcoins, ripples and Bitcoins. This is the weekly charts. So it's starting on the top of that blue stick there, and the hash ribbons. There is a buy signal there. So it's pretty good, looking pretty good. Yeah, that's not much to say about this. I'm going to get into ripples a lot more, but if it maybe sell off a little bit more, they go up again. 2,201. So this trend line that's going on since 2018, and the Fibonacci lines are pretty good. So as you can see here, it's made a golden cross in the weekly charts here. So I think it's actually pretty good on Bitcoins, but it has a long way to go. So the top orders are, as I was saying before, for now, I think around this numbers is the next point to get into. 6,061 and 6,925. So I think those parts are the numbers that it would be to getting into in the next steps. So that's it for ripples. ADA's, Cardano's in US dollars. So the 3 day chart is closed, and it's just making resistance and getting on top of that line there. There is a buy sign on hash ribbons. Let's get the Cardano is. Yeah, there's a lot of resistance on that line there, the EMA line. $1.38, $1.47. Sorry, $1.47. The weekly charts. So last week it was on a high note, and the monthly charts is pretty much the same. Yeah, it's on the high, pretty long stick upwards. So if it goes starts in around those green lines, that would be great. Yeah, it's kind of trying to get down too, so I think it's going to take a little bit more time, but it is pretty looking healthy. So yeah, it's trying to get on top of that. Around here is a pretty good resistance there, so might fluctuate and make adjustments a little more. So I think if you would buy probably $1.30, $1.40, $1.36, I think those are the numbers to be looking out for when making orders in the near future. And Cardano's and Bitcoins. So this is the weekly charts starting on a high note. And the RSI is still on 70. So I think there's a lot more room to go up. A little bit more and it's going to get into the autumn highs. So I think it's going to hit those numbers around there. But after that, I don't know what this chart is going to. Maybe get into adjustments, make a U-turn and go up again. But if the market recovers, I think the chart's gonna follow that. It might take a little bit of time around here. The EMA lines kind of apart from the charts, so just take a little bit more time to close in those gap up. So I don't think in the next few weeks it's gonna make much big of a movement. So just probably taking a little bit more time on this as well. The 3D chart's looking good. So it might just take getting around here tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's the numbers that it would hit. And a lot of you buy this on dollars, so yeah, just get the necessary amounts you want first, I would say. It's just gonna be on the rising pattern in the near future, so total market caps in the 3D charts. Yeah, it's kind of trying to get into a rising pattern from the bottom there, so I don't think it's much to worry about. If this settles down, I think it's going to go up again. So there is a lot more room to be estimated. If it goes up here, that's going to be a lot of percentages in the market right now. So yeah, that's one scenario that it could be getting into. Yeah, so this is the fourth wave, and I heard that there's going to be a fifth wave in the next pattern. I heard from another analyst. So the fifth wave is definitely going to go through those numbers. So if that happens, that there would be a lot of cash flowing into the market, and a lot of things going to change in the market after that. So I hope that was pretty good for you guys. Follow me on Twitter at Tatsugo channel. So I haven't actually been used on Twitter, but I'm actually getting into this and making updates on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter and also do Instagram. So follow me on both those platforms. Yeah, it's a little bit of it's just the same information as these videos. So for those of you that are looking for quicker updates and just the newest newses, follow me on those two platforms. So yeah, if you don't have it, it's easy to download. So have the App Store or Android Store or whatever you're using. So yeah, and don't forget to follow me and like this video and hit that bell notification for more. Hit that subscribe button and keep updated on these newest cryptocurrency charts and updates. So yeah, have a great weekend, guys. Keep grinding, and thank you guys. See you again.